After we finish the Haggadah, we have the second cup of wine. The Sfaradim do not say a blessing on that cup of wine because we rely on the blessing of the first cup. The Ashkenazim do recite another blessing, a blessing on each of the 4 cups, Borei Pri HaGefen. After this is Ruhtzah, we wash the hands, and then Motsi Matsa, where we say 2 blessings. Firstly, Motsi Lechem Min Haaretz, and secondly, Asher Kedesham Tzivanu Al Achilat Matsa, on the Matza. Now we say the Bracha Motsi Lechem Min Haaretz, that we have bread. This is the regular blessing which we say, and even though this matzah does have the definition of lechem because this is the bread for Pesach, this is considered our bread, and therefore the bracha for Motzi Lechem Min Haaretz is still appropriate. And then the bracha matzah for the mitzvah of eating matzah. Now, when doing the 2 brachot, the halacha with regards to holding the matzot is as follows. So we explained in Yahat a few days ago that we have 3 matzot. And the reason we have 3 matzot is because we need to have 2 for lechem mishneh, for the double portion which we have every Shabbat and every Chag, and also because we're breaking the matzah, and it has to be 2 complete matzot, we need a 3rd matzah. Now if you recall, when you break the matzah, we put aside the bigger piece for the afikomin at the end and the smaller piece in between the 2 matzot. So we have 3 matzot, 1 complete, the second is half a matzah, and the 3rd one is the complete one. Now, when saying the first Baracha Motzi Lechem Min Haaretz, we hold all 3 matzot. Reason being is for Motzi Lechem Min Haaretz, this is now the commencement of the Seudah, and for that you need to have Lechem Mishneh, 2 matzot, which need to be complete, and therefore we need to hold all 3 matzot. But once we've said Hamotzi Lechem Min Haaretz, then we put down the bottom matzah, because at this point, at Motzi Matzah, we're only going to eat from the top and second matzah, and thus when we say the second beracha, we can put down the 3rd matzah, because the 3rd matzah is going to be used later on for korech. So the first 2 matzot is what we hold when we say the second beracha. So again, when we say the first beracha Motzi Lechem Min Haaretz, we hold all 3 matzot because we need to be holding 2 complete ones, and the complete ones are the top and the bottom one. Once we've said that, then for the second beracha, al achilat matzah, we only need to hold the matzot which we're going to be eating from, which is the first and second matzah. Now, the mitzvah is to eat matzah. And whenever the Torah says to eat matzah, that's a kazait of matzah. And so therefore it should suffice to have 1 kazait. And from the Torah, if a person has 1 kazait of matzah, that fulfills the obligation. However, there is a debate amongst the Rishonim whether one has the kazait of the matzah from the top matzah or from the middle matzah. One opinion holds that you take it from the top matzah because that's the top matzah and that's the complete one. Other opinion says no, you take the middle matzah because the middle matzah is the broken one. That's the bread of poverty, that's the main matzah, and therefore you eat the kazait from that. Therefore, the halakha is that we eat a kazait from both. Rabbinically, we eat a kazait from both. Although the mitzvah is fulfilled from the Torah by eating 1 kazait, we actually have a kazait from both. However, this is only for the Baal HaBayit. Not everyone around the table has 3 matzot. Only the Baal HaBayit, only the leader of the Seder, he has 3 matzot. And therefore for him, who's breaking bread, he has a kazait from the top matzah and the middle matzah. However, for everyone else around the table, it's sufficient at this point of the Seder to have 1 kazait of matzah. It's sufficient to have 1 kazait of matzah. And so, when having the 3 matzot, one takes, the Baal HaBayit, the leader, takes 1 kazait from the top matzah, another kazait from the middle matzah, and then everyone else around the table has 1 kazait at this point. Of course, you can have more, and in fact, the more a person eats, the mitzvah is greater. Excuse me. But the actual mitzvah is to have 1 kazait, but the Baal HaBayit, because the debate about where one eats the kazait from the top matzah, the middle matzah, therefore, he has 2 kazitot, 1 from the top matzah and 1 from the middle matzah. So to summarize, after washing our hands, we hold all 3 matzot, we say Motzi Lechem Min Haaretz, then we only hold 2 matzot, the top and the second, the half one, and we say the second beracha, Asher Kedesham Tzivanu Al Achilat Matzah, and then the leader says, eat a kazait from both of the top and the middle matzah, and everyone else has 1 kazait. That's sufficient at this point of the Seder.